China blocks 19,000 crore AI deal. Why is this a big blow for Meta? Imagine one of the world's biggest tech companies quietly preparing to buy an AI startup whose technology could play a very big role in the future digital world. The deal is worth almost $2 billion, which is around 19,000 crore in Indian currency. The company thinks that this acquisition will give it new strength in the AI race. But then, a government steps in and says, this deal cannot move forward because this is not just business, it is a matter of national security. The fear begins here because today AI is no longer limited to chatbots, photo generation, or search tools. AI is now becoming the core of data, defense, surveillance, software, productivity, national security, and the future economy. The company that has better AI talent, better models, and better data can become the digital power of the coming era. That is why, when China blocked Meta's Manus AI deal, it was not just a setback for Facebook or Mark Zuckerberg, but a warning for tech investors across the world. And curiosity is born here. Why did China block this deal? If Manus had shifted its base to Singapore, if American investors were also involved in it, and if Meta wanted to buy it, then why was Beijing so worried? Does China now want to stop technology of Chinese origin from going outside? Will changing borders no longer be enough for AI startups? And in the coming time, has the US-China tech war now moved beyond just chips and apps, reaching talent, algorithms, and intellectual property? According to a Reuters report, China has ordered Meta to unwind its $2 billion acquisition of AI startup Manus. The National Development and Reform Commission, meaning NDRC, cited national security concerns, and this is being seen as a signal of increasing scrutiny on foreign, especially American, investment in China's frontier tech sector. Manus was originally a startup connected to China, but it later shifted operations to Singapore. Even then, Beijing considered this deal within its regulatory scope. Here, the story is not just about Meta. It is the story of a new era where even if a technology company is registered in any country, if its talent, technology, research, or origin is linked to China, Chinese regulators may see it as a strategic asset. According to a related Reuters report, China's decision has increased the risk of cross-border China tech deals, and state media also described such deals as sensitive for industrial security. For Meta, this setback is big also because the company wants to move forward very aggressively in the AI race. OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Anthropic, xAI, and Chinese companies like DeepSeek are creating fast competition in the AI world. Meta has open-source AI models like Llama, but in the field of agentic AI, meaning AI agents that can understand tasks and handle planning, execution, and decision support themselves, the competition has become even sharper. Manus was considered important in this emerging AI agent space. Understand the meaning of AI agent in simple language. A normal chatbot answers your question, but an agentic AI system can handle the full chain of work on your behalf. For example, doing research, reading files, making a plan, writing code, making bookings, generating reports, or automating business processes. This is why a company like Meta may have been interested in Manus, because in the future, AI will not only give answers, it will also do work. But for China, this very thing can become a cause of concern. If an AI startup has links with Chinese talent, local research, domestic infrastructure, or sensitive data, Beijing may believe that foreign acquisition of such technology would be a strategic loss. According to a modern diplomacy report, China's NDRC ordered the deal to be blocked under foreign investment security rules implemented in 2021, and the concern was connected more to technology development, data security, and China links than to the place of incorporation. Here, a big question arises. If the company went to Singapore, then what authority does China have? This is the biggest signal of this case. According to reports, Manus had reincorporated in Singapore, but Chinese regulators took its China origin founders, talent, and technology links seriously. This means that for strategic tech companies, merely changing the legal address may not be enough in the future. If the roots are in China, Beijing can claim jurisdiction. Meta and Manus deal will not be easy either. Reuters, citing the Wall Street Journal, reported that Meta is preparing to undo the acquisition, and the Chinese government has asked for the transaction to be reversed and Chinese assets to be restored. The report also said that if data or technology transfer has happened, it will have to be removed, and a deadline of a few weeks was mentioned to fully unwind the deal. In the world of business, cancelling a deal is one thing, but unwinding an AI deal can be much more complex. If shares have been transferred, money has gone, employees have been onboarded, the codebase has been integrated, data access has been given, or a part of intellectual property has been transferred, then reversing it becomes a very difficult process. Money can be returned, shares can be reversed, but fully undoing knowledge and technology transfer can be almost impossible. This is why this case can increase fear among global investors. If an investor puts money into a China-origin AI startup and later plans to sell it to an American company for exit, then now they will have to keep regulatory risk much more in mind. This risk is not just about valuation, it is about deal completion. A startup may be on paper in Singapore, Dubai, or the US, but if its core research came from China, the regulator can step in. China's move shows a new phase of the US-China tech war. Earlier, the tension was over semiconductors. America imposed export controls on advanced chips and chip-making equipment. China pushed its domestic chip ecosystem and companies like Huawei. Then AI models, cloud computing, and data centers became strategic. Now acquisition and talent movement are also becoming battlefields. This means technology is no longer just private business. It has become a geopolitical asset. Another Reuters AI-related report shows that China is emphasizing domestic infrastructure in its AI ecosystem, and firms like DeepSeek are experimenting with Huawei chips so that reliance on NVIDIA can be reduced. This broader trend shows that China is taking self-reliance and national control in AI very seriously. For Meta, China has always been a tricky market. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram do not operate freely in China. The Chinese digital ecosystem is a different world, where WeChat, Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, ByteDance, and local players dominate. For Meta, direct consumer platform business in China has been difficult. So if it wanted to access Chinese origin technology through an AI startup acquisition, it could have been a strategic shortcut for the company. But China has put a barrier on that route too. This deal is also sensitive because in AI, both data and talent are very important. An AI company does not become powerful just because of its model. Behind it are trained engineers, research culture, data pipelines, product vision, and compute strategy. If China feels that its best AI brains or research outputs are going into the hands of foreign companies, it will not see this as just an investment transaction, but as leakage of national capability. Here, a difference between America and China's thinking is also visible. America often looks at China, origin apps, chips, and technologies through the lens of national security. The TikTok case has been a big example where concerns were raised over data security and Chinese ownership. Now China is using similar logic. Beijing is saying that if American companies buy Chinese AI assets, that too can be a national security concern. According to an Indian Express Explainer report, China forced Meta to revoke the Manus deal, despite Manus shifting its base to Singapore, and this could set a precedent for Chinese origin tech innovations. This means that for Chinese founders, global expansion and exit strategy will no longer remain as simple as before. Now, it is also important to understand the impact of this story on countries like India. AI startups are growing fast in India too. If, in the future, an Indian AI startup works in critical sectors like defense tech, data infrastructure, language models, health data, financial intelligence, or strategic software, governments may look at foreign acquisition from a national security angle. Meaning, the more the valuation of AI startups rises, the more regulatory attention will also increase.
The message for global tech investors is clear. Now it will not be enough to look only at a company's balance sheet, product, and user growth. They will also have to see where the startup's technology was developed, which country the founders are from, where the data is stored, where the employees are sitting, which jurisdiction the code base is in, and how the regulator may interpret the deal. Due diligence has now become not just financial, but geopolitical as well. This case is also a warning for startup founders. If a founder thinks that by registering the company in Singapore or the US, they will completely move outside the tech rules of their home country, then this assumption may be weak. In strategic sectors, regulators can look at ownership, control, source of technology, and national talent links. This scrutiny can increase even more in sectors like AI, chips, biotech, quantum, and cybersecurity. Meta's ambitions can also be affected by this. Speed is very important in the AI race. If the acquisition had been completed, Meta could have quickly gained Manus's technology, talent, and AI agent capabilities. But with the deal blocked, it will either have to depend more on organic development or search for similar startups in other markets. This can increase both time and cost. But this decision is not risk-free for China either. When governments block deals, foreign investors become cautious. They think, if exit is uncertain, why invest? If a company wants global capital, but the regulator can block foreign acquisition, then the attractiveness of the startup ecosystem can be affected. So China will have to balance national security and investment openness. Still, Beijing is probably looking at this moment through a long-term strategic lens. China understands that AI can be the industrial revolution of the future. The country that has AI infrastructure, chips, models, robotics, automation, and agentic systems can see its economic and military power increase. In such a situation, allowing a company like Manus to go under foreign control may have seemed costly to Beijing. There is also a major symbolic angle here. China has signaled to the world that for it, AI is not an ordinary software business. It is strategic technology. And in strategic technology, the government will have the final say on ownership, control, and transfer. This message is for Meta too, for American investors too, for Chinese startups too, and for the rest of the world too. Now the question for an ordinary person is, what difference does this make to us? It matters because the future of AI will not be decided only in Silicon Valley or Beijing. Whichever country moves ahead in AI, its products will affect our jobs, education, business, media, entertainment, security, and daily life. If the AI world gets divided into two camps, one US-led and another China-led, then companies, users, and countries may have to make choices. It is also possible that in the coming time, AI companies may have to create different versions for global expansion. A separate AI ecosystem for China, a separate one for America, separate compliance for Europe, and separate data rules for countries like India. This means AI globalization will not remain easy. Regulation, national security, and digital sovereignty will become part of it. One more thing became clear after the Meta-Manus deal was blocked. Talent is the biggest asset in AI. Code can be copied, servers can be bought, but the right AI researchers and product teams are not easy to find. That is why countries will now keep an eye not only on companies but also on talent flows. If the best engineers go to foreign firms, domestic AI ambitions can weaken. In this entire matter, the money figure is becoming the headline. $2 billion, meaning roughly 19,000 crore. But the real story is bigger than money. If money alone were the issue, reversing the deal would have been a business dispute. But here, national security, data, AI capability, Chinese origin technology, and US-China rivalry are involved. That is why the cancellation of this deal is a major geopolitical tech signal. In the end, the point is that Facebook or Meta was not just going to buy an AI startup in China, it was trying to take a fast shortcut in the future AI race. China stopped that shortcut. Beijing has made it clear that it will not treat a technology like AI as an ordinary deal of the open market. And the world has received the signal that in the coming time, the buying and selling of AI startups will be as sensitive as defense, chips, or telecom technology.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.